So as our friend is setting up, I just want to introduce myself and welcome you all. I'm Dr. Bhavna Pathak. I'm an oncologist here and also a yoga teacher. I know many of you have a fondness for yoga and holistic health, and this is indeed something very dear to my heart, and I'm sure yours. And so for whatever reason brings you in today, whether you're a patient or a staff member, I designed today's class on interdependence, themed after our nation's birthday in July, Independence Day, to explore these aspects of how we're all connected to one another, within our own bodies, to each other, and even within our communities. So for today's class, all you need are your yoga mats, yourself, if you like, a bottle of water, and a towel if you get sweaty. But the hope is that we can just take this class for who you are today. We don't expect you to touch your toes or be a gymnast in yoga. It's all about who you are today on the mat. It's about the journey down to your toes, not touching your toes, okay? So there's no judgment. Whatever you can do, you can do. And I'm here to offer modifications. Are there any injuries in here? Any limitations?
My right shoulder.
Right.
Have a full range of motion, both forward and backwards.
Okay. So thank you for sharing that with me. Especially when we're in a down dog position or tabletop, you can put a little less pressure on it, or maybe choose to omit that portion and just do a forward fold if that's comfortable for you.
I have a shoulder replacement and a bad right knee.
Okay.
So I can put a lot of pressure on
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing. Do you have a towel or anything, you can also utilize that and roll it up and put it under your knee if you're comfortable putting weight on your knee. And if there's ever anything that doesn't feel right, just listen to your body. So for today's peak posture, meaning the pose we're sort of building up towards in our flow, it's going to be tree pose. Have any of you heard of tree pose? So tree pose, or Vrikshasana, I will be using the Sanskrit words as an homage to my ancestry and heritage, not to scare anybody, but just to deepen the experience. Tree pose is a totally interconnected, interdependent type of pose because it's describing a tree. And what is more interconnected than a tree, the tree of life, with itself rooted into the ground and building itself up into the branches that reach into the sky. And so to demonstrate this pose, you start in a standing position, and then you start to bear weight on one side, and then rooting down into that foot through the arch of your feet up into your calf, bringing that energetically into your abdomen, lifting up your chest, rolling your shoulders back, lifting up your crown to the sky, chin parallel to the floor. When you feel comfortable, pressing your weight on one side. And now if this is challenging for you, you don't need to go further, but once you bear weight on that side, you lift up your opposite foot. And many of you have seen versions of this pose that look very acrobatic and fantastic. And honestly, the point of yoga is not to reach that final, quote, final pose. It's about the inquiry of how your body gets there. So really, this pose enriches not only muscular strength within your lower body and sort of alignment within your spine, but it also engages your mind because it enhances focus in trying to balance. What we'll do is lift up the opposite foot and place it on your calf. As an alternative or modification, you can simply rest it on the floor at your ankle, and then if it feels right, you can start to lift up your arms, and there are variations of this pose where you can, flow your branches or bring it down into prayer pose. And the last point of this pose is actually your eyesight. That's part of the pose. You pick a point of focus or gaze. In yoga, we call it drishti, or your gaze point, your focus point. And that allows you to maintain balance no matter how you take this pose. So that is Vrikshasana for today. So when you're ready, you can find ourselves on our mats on our back in Shavasana. Shavasana is essentially corpse pose, just lying flat on our back. Start to arrive and ground ourselves. Your heels, your calves. If you're more comfortable bending your knees, feel free to take that modification. Start to melt your sit bones into your mat. Start to feel the wave of your breath flowing in and out of your belly. Notice how your ribs are there to support you. Notice how your clavicles might have started to soften. I invite you to keep an open gaze, or if it feels right for you today, you may close your eyes gently. Lying your hands out to the side, comfortably, palms up to receive energy, palms down to ground yourself. And invite you to take a half smile. You're happy to be here, you think. So now I'm going to instruct you on some breathing techniques while in the lying position. Pranayama, or the science of breath movement, means pran, or life force, and yama, or control. The science of breathing is so deep. It is emblematic of that universal interconnectedness. We'll start with the Dirga breath. Inhaling through your nose. Start to feel the air pulling into your ribs and into your stomach. Exhale out through your ribs and your stomach. I invite you to put your hands on your belly now. Deep breath in through your nose. Start to feel your belly expand, your ribs expand. Lastly, your shoulders expanding. Exhale. Release your shoulders, release your ribs, release your belly. Again, inhale deep into your belly, into your ribs. And lastly, topping off your shoulders. Exhale the reverse direction from your shoulders, out from your ribs, and squeezing any last air out from your belly. Take a few deep breaths in on your own, in and out. Starting to arrive here, finally. Next, I'm going to ask you to breathe in through your nose. And as you exhale, constrict the back of your throat, creating an oceanic sound such as this. Deep breath in, filling your belly. On the exhale, make an oceanic hissing sound. This is called the Ujjayi breath, or victorious breath. This is the breath used in yoga to facilitate heat building. It also helps to build focus. If at any point during our practice you feel you are getting too hot or too much heat, you can start to release your exhales out through your mouth. Let's do a couple more breaths in Ujjayi. Deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out through a constricted throat, out through your nose again. Deep breath in. And as you're doing, start to drop in with yourself. Ask yourself, how are you doing today? What brings you here? I invite you to set an intention for yourself for today's practice. If you're open to suggestions or drawing a blank, I offer you the intention of surrender. Surrender to the cosmic interplay of cause and effect, realizing that we are but a part of a grand galaxy that depends on the sum of its parts, where the flapping of a butterfly wing can be felt in the farthest corners of our universe. This interdependency, the idea that two things can mutually depend on each other, is a pattern we see in our own bodies from the passage of air through our noses, pushing down on our bellies and diaphragm to oxygenate our organs through rich and nourishing blood. And with the exhale and the richness of carbon dioxide in our breath, it stimulates the reverse. We see this interdependency in nature with the tremendous power of the sun, that giant star in our solar system that gives vital life to trees and plants, that then illuminate the flowers that bees depend on, that populate the earth with the delicious fruit and beauty we have the privilege to behold. So let's surrender to this process, understanding that healthy interdependence requires a combination of collaboration and accountability, both within ourselves, first and foremost, and with others. What can you let go of today to be more authentic and aligned with your highest self? What do you need to do now to surrender? So with that, I ask you to gently find some motion in your fingers. Gently start to roll your wrists. Start to shimmy your toes, rolling your ankles. If you've closed your eyes, you may start to flutter them and start to let in the first rays of light from our brief respite, arriving, surrendering. On your back, on an inhale, draw your right knee towards your chest. Exhale, push your right knee across your left side body for a supine twist. Supta Matsyendrasana. Matsyendrasana means fish. So imagine yourself as a little fishy at the bottom of the ocean, looking up at the sky above, the stars ahead. You can find a few breaths here. Inhale, bring your knee back to center. Exhale, let your right knee down. Inhale, draw your left knee towards your chest. Exhale, push your left knee over your right side body. You can stretch out your left arm to form a T, or just let your hands fall where they may. Enjoying this gentle twist. Twists are great for detoxification and toning of your midsection. But most importantly, we're warming up the spine. On your inhale, draw your left knee to center. Exhale, let your left knee down and leg down. On the inhale, draw the bottoms of both feet to touch each other in a bound angle pose. You may lie your hands towards your sides and just notice the gentle stretch on your pelvic floor. For modification, you can add a towel to both sides of your hips or a particular side. You can flap your little butterfly wings of your legs. And notice how your sit bones are supporting you, how your mat might be supporting you. Pay attention to where your eyesight is falling. Draw a deep inhale through your nose, filling up your belly. Exhale, let it all out. Inhale. Exhale. On the next inhale, roll over to your favorite side and find yourself in fetal position. Fetal position is a chance for rebirth, a chance to rediscover all the beautiful ways you take part in your own life, and a chance to break down and get rid of things that don't serve us. Deep breath in. On the next exhale, place your hand on the floor and gently, ever so gently, slowly, start to bring yourself up to a seated position. You can join me cross-legged, or for a modification, it's more comfortable to sit on your heels. Stretch your legs out. This is called Sukhasana, or well pose, or easy pose. But it's not so easy, if you ask me. It requires you to, again, root down through your sit bones, lift up your pelvis, spread out your beautiful hearts, rolling back your shoulders. On the next inhale, draw your hands up above your head and cross your last 3 fingers together to form a steeple grip. Inhale, reach up, 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 up. On your exhale, lean to one side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, lean to the other side. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Inhale back to center. Recommitting to your pointing to the sky. Exhale to the side. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale back to center. And exhale, draw your hands in front of you, slowly trying to see where it might land. Bringing your gaze down. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, slowly start to bring your feet from out under you, drawing your knees under your hips, hands under your shoulders, into a tabletop position. You can place a towel under your knee or under your arms for elevation, for less impact on your shoulder. Inhale, draw your belly down. Lift your chest up. Cow pose. Exhale, draw your belly button in, round your spine, draw your chin to your chest. Cat. Inhale, draw your belly down, bare your hips back, shine your heart out. Cow. Very good. Exhale, draw your belly button back in, round your back. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Look down and see if you can press your chin to your chest. Cat. Take this at your own pace. Breath to movement. Inviting any modifications that feel right for you today in this moment. Might be a little twist, might be a little rotation, might be a little yawning of your upper body, lower body. The goal is to find where your breath meets your spine. Inhale, exhale. If you found yourself rotating in one direction, be kind to yourself and remember to rotate in the other direction. Now, on your next inhale, slowly start to look back at your knees. And on the exhale, untuck your toes, draw your hips back up to the sky, pushing back your chest into your thighs for our first downward facing dog of the day. This will look like this from the side. An inverted V position. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can opt to omit this, place some cushions under your hands, or simply take a forward fold. Alternatively, you can meet me in mountain pose, which is standing. Simple standing. So for the last breath or so of your down dog, I invite you to what we call walk your dog and try to reach your heels to the floor, but this is not necessary. Everyone's anatomy is different. When you're ready, take an inhale and slowly start to walk up. Your feet up to your hands and grab opposite elbows for a ragdoll pose. You can sway your ragdoll from side to side. Start to take breaths again at your own pace. This is a very nurturing pose. You can imagine a mom holding her dear baby, rocking it back and forth. We depend on that at such a young age. And we depend on that same kindness towards ourselves and others, even as we get older. Inhale, exhale. On your next inhale, slowly start to rise up, vertebrae by vertebrae. When you're ready, take an inhale, draw your hands above your head. Exhale, prayer position down to your heart center. Anjali Mudra. Welcome. Inhale, draw your hands above your head again. Exhale, swan dive at the hip, letting your upper body fall down to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, dragging your hands above your shins to form a flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, back down to the floor. Inhale, plant your hands to the top of your mat. Extend your legs long to the top of a plank position. For a modification, feel free to lower your knees to the floor. Untuck your toes to place the tops of your feet on your mat. Exhale, pointing your elbows back, slowly lower your body to the floor. Notice how your body greeted gravity. You can lower your head to the ground. On your next inhale, lift with a baby lift your chin off the floor about 6 inches. Now exhale, push into the web between your thumb and your index finger to slowly build what we call a baby cobra. You might start to feel that heat building in your low back. The goal is not to have an awkward C position. The goal is to keep a very beautiful straight line from the crown of your head down to your feet. That is a gentle and natural arc. Inhale, exhale back down to the floor. Let's do that once again. Inhale, draw your chin up, push into your arms, draw your chest up. Let's see if we can go a little bit higher this time into full cobra. Exhale, untuck your toes, draw your hips up into tabletop or down dog. Inhale, look up towards the top of your hands, walk, skip or jump to the top. Inhale, draw your hands above your head. Exhale, hands to heart center. That was what we call sun salutation or Surya Namaskar. Take this at your own pace. Versions of this are what we call chaturanga, where we go through the motion of the cobra to the down dog. I'll walk you through it. Don't let the words scare you, okay? We're gonna do that one more time, breath to movement. We land where we land, okay? You're doing great. If you're modifying, just remember your breath, okay? Deep breath. Inhale, hands above your head. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive down. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, top of a plank. Exhale, lower down, knees to the ground if you desire. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, look to the front. Exhale, bring your hands to your feet and slowly inhale, bring your hands back up. Exhale, back down to center. From this position, we'll start to take a gentle twist. Slowly start to let your hands out to the side. Inhale in one direction, exhale in the other. Inhale, exhale. This pose has various names. Crazy palm tree is one. Imagine a palm tree swaying in the wind. What I like to call this pose is sunflower. Maybe happy sunflower, as if we were a field of sunflowers. Feeling the sun. You might notice that even this pace might feel a lot for you after engaging in that vigorous, dynamic sun salutation. So try to slow it down just a touch. Notice your inhale and your exhale. Okay, and gently meet me back to center when you're ready to stop being a sunflower, or maybe never. So on the next inhale, draw your right leg back behind you, train tracking it, not exactly one behind another, but train tracking for balance. The ankle should be in a straight line parallel to your other foot, not to the side. Try to commit to the bend in your left knee, if possible. Squaring your hips to the front. Not like side hips, but as if Each hip bone had some headlights and you're shining it forward like a car. When you feel rooted in this position, slowly start to build energy and strength within your torso, lifting up your chest, drawing your hands above your head. Inhale. Exhale, cactus your arms to a side to the 90-degree angles in your elbows. Inhale, back up. Exhale, down. On the next inhale, rotate your back foot to the side and turn your pelvis out to the side, drawing your arms parallel to your mat, looking away from your back arm towards the front, over your middle finger, trying to keep your hands in a straight line. You might take a few bounces if it's been a few moments in this pose, and when you're ready, try to recommit to the 90-degree bend in your front leg. Warrior 2, or Virabhadrasana Dvi. So we're coasting. On the next inhale, reverse your warrior by bringing your front hand above and over your head, drawing your back hand back. For a modification, I invite you to enter our next pose, where we will turn our front foot parallel or perpendicular to the mat, reaching our hands up to the side, to the sky. Star pose. You can sparkle your hands, reaching up high. Taking an inhale here. On the exhale, draw your elbows to your hips. Goddess pose. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, goddess. On the next inhale, you can cartwheel your hands to the front of the mat, landing in a plank position, and feel free to engage in your chaturanga. Exhaling, pressing down to the mat. Inhaling to an up dog or cobra. Exhaling, back to down dog. Inhaling, looking at the top of the mat. Slowly walking to the front of the mat. Take an exhale and then draw your last inhale up and about. Exhale, hands to heart center. Great job. Wonderful work. You're doing great. On your next inhale, draw your left leg back behind you a few feet, train tracking them, rooting the ball of your left foot into your mat, rooting your front foot in all four corners down to the mat. Remembering your commitment to the bend in your leg if that feels right for you. Squaring your hips. You have those headlights that are shining forward. Engaging your core, drawing back your shoulders. Inhale, draw your hands above your head. Exhale, cactus your arms. Notice what your body is doing in this position. Inhale, draw your hands above your head. Exhale, cactus your arms. On the next inhale, sheet yourself out to meet me in Warrior 2, where you pivot your back foot perpendicular to your mat, recommit to the lunge in your front leg, and putting your arms out to a T, looking over your front hand, otherwise known as surfer, cowabunga dude. So from this position, inhale, draw your hand above your head, drawing your back hand back, reverse warrior. Inhale, draw both hands to the sky, turning your front foot perpendicular to the mat, wiggling your fingers, star. Try another inhale to reach for the sky, maybe lift up your heels. Exhale, goddess. For a modification, you may lift your heel or keep them down. Prayer pose. Inhale, star, fingers to the sky. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, cartwheel your hands back to the front of your mat. Extend back into a plank pose and take your chaturanga. Meet me in down dog. Inhale, look to the top of your mat. Slowly walk yourself up to the front. Now take a deep breath in. Exhaling, start to lift yourself away from the floor as if you're a little balloon floating from the earth. Seeing how things get so small and tiny. Rolling back. From here, we're going to enter Vrikshasana, or tree pose. With your weight steady on your left foot, I encourage you to root down into all four corners of your feet. Draw your kneecaps above your thighs. If your knees are feeling a little weak, you can bend them or strive to keep a little balance, or if you'd like a chair or prop to keep balance, we'd be happy to get you that. Draw your right foot towards your calf, or for a modification, right at your side by your ankle, trying to splay out your hips so that it's not knees pointing forward, but knees as best possible splayed out. Drawing the energy upwards. Having your hands lie where you'd like, where it feels natural, by your side, to the sky, at your heart center. You are exactly where you need to be today. You are exactly where you need to be today. Find a point of gaze in front of you for added stability. And for an added challenge, close your eyes. Remember to breathe. On your next inhale, draw your body as close as you can together, and exhale, let it out. Come out of that pose gracefully and messily as you may. Shake it out. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Remembering you can do this position even seated. You can simply prop your hand on the side as a kickstand and bring your other hand to your center. And practice that maybe with eyes closed if it suits you. So, with the next inhale, drawing your weight to your right leg, rooting down, lifting up, bringing your left foot to your calf. You can also bring it above your thigh, and new data suggests you can actually keep it on your knee, contrary to popular belief thinking that it would buckle your knee. Literally, there's no amount of pressure you can actually buckle your knee with. However, if you have any knee issues, please refrain from doing so. Taking that contact between your left side body and your right side body, whatever that may be, seated, standing, find your point of focus or drishti. Remember it. Remember why you're here. Remember what you need to let go of, to commit to this moment of surrendering. And don't forget your breath. On the next inhale, draw your body closer, giving yourself the best internal hug ever. Exhale, let it all out. Whew. Did you feel how it built heat on each side? So now, take a nice deep inhale up and over your body. Exhale, swan dive down. Start to bring your knees to the floor. Big toes to touch, knees wider than your toes, drawing your hips back over your heels, reaching your fingers out for a well-deserved child's pose or balasana. Deep breath in through your nose. Feeling your ribs expand, your belly expand. Exhaling, feeling your ribs contract. Noticing how the different parts of your body helped you today, helped each other today, from your eyesight to your balance to your thigh muscles. It's like that old song, the hip bone's connected to the thigh bone. Let it all out. On your next inhale, slowly convince yourself to wiggle yourself to the next juicy position, which will be on our backs. On our backs, bend your knees, bringing your hips close to your buttocks as possible. Reaching your hands and fingers down to your heels into what we call bridge pose or Setu Bandhasana. I'm going to move to the side so you can see. On your next inhale, draw your hips up towards the sky, pressing into the floor with your hands, feeling the little support given to your body from the tops of your shoulders, being careful not to bend your neck, just a gentle lift. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale again, bring your hips up towards the sky. Exhale down. From this position, if you can lift your feet up, you can slowly just let it hang here for a nice, gentle inversion. Or you can find your fingers catching your big toes for what we call happy baby. Can rotate from side to side, feeling that gentle massage. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, I invite you to bring your knees and head close to one another and stopping the exhale for a second to close all body channels in what we call a Mula Bandha. Exhale, let everything go. Let your feet fall to your mat, hands by your side, shoulders to the ground. Let your knees fall flat, stretch out your legs. We've entered a period of rest. Shavasana, or corpse pose. This is the time where we integrate all of our hard work and effort over the last 50 moments and see where that integrates into our body. You can find yourself supported by a wall or on your own, on your mat, can prop up your legs on a towel. This song in Sanskrit, Tvameva Mata, means you are my mother, you are my father, you are my friend, you are my fortune, you are my knowledge, you are beyond the highest. It's an homage to our highest selves and a reminder that we're all connected. I'm going to be going around and offering some hands-on assists in this relaxation pose. If you prefer not to be touched today, please raise your hand. Slowly, ever so slowly, start to breathe life back into your body. Remembering what it felt like to surrender to the moment. Wiggling your fingers, toes, stretching your calves, maybe taking some shoulder rolls, blinking your eyes to bring the first breath of light back into them after a brief respite. When you're ready, roll over onto your favorite side. To fetal pose. Fetal pose is a chance for rebirth. Chance to remember how we started and perhaps where we're going. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, find your favorite hand. And on the next exhale, slowly start to push yourself up into a seated position. I'll be guiding you to the last portion of our class today, which is a meditation, or what we call dhyana, the actual purpose of yoga, to prepare your body for contemplative reflection. Today's meditation was chosen to symbolize the beauty of compassion across its many forms. Metta meditation, or its full name, Metta Bhavana meditation, ironically taken after my own name, vice versa, means loving kindness meditation. It's the art of cultivating compassion, first within ourselves, and as a result for others. This meditation will take 5 forms. In its first iteration, we'll quietly reflect on how we may be well ourselves. In the second round, we will think of a dear friend or loved one. In the third round, we will think of someone we know, an acquaintance. In the fourth round, sometimes the hardest, we'll think of someone we may not like, wishing them love, compassion, health. And in the fifth round, we will wish that same love and compassion for all sentient beings. You may find yourself in whatever comfortable position you feel like. Sukhasana, which is the traditional pose, but you may decide to spread your legs to the side. Maybe it was more comfortable in the lying down position. This will be a couple minutes together as I quietly offer you these reflections. As I say them out loud, feel free to say them after me or say them quietly to yourself. You're welcome to close your eyes or have your gaze gently a few feet ahead of you. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be free from suffering. Let's do that again. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be free from suffering. Now, bring to mind a dear friend or loved one, or maybe even a pet. May they be well. May they be happy. May they be free from suffering. Now bring to mind someone you don't know as well, an acquaintance, maybe the mailman. May they be well. May they be happy. May they be free from suffering. Now bring to mind someone you have a conflict with. May they be well. May they be happy. May they be free from suffering. Lastly, bring to mind all sentient beings on earth. May they be well. May they be happy. May they be free from suffering. Gently open your eyes if they're closed. Inhale, draw your hands above your head. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra, or prayer hands. Notice how this felt to cultivate that compassion, that feeling of surrender, and that hope of interconnectivity and interdependence to bring us all happiness. The light in me salutes the light in you. Namaste. Thank you guys.